Hi guys, Erin here. Today I want to talk about my December book haul part 2 because I got even more books for Christmas that came in late, and they are sort of from Erin to Erin presents. So I just wanted to talk about them today after having spent an hour on the phone with my best friend. So the first book we have is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. It's a fantasy book, so of course I'm going to read it. It's about this girl named Jude who lost her parents, two sisters, and was stolen to live in the high court of fairies. And years later, she wants nothing more than to be a part of that, but the Fae loathe humans, so there's a problem with that. But I've seen this book advertised almost everywhere I go, so like on Instagram, on Twitter, everything says like read The Cruel Prince, so I took that as a literary sign that I simply must read the book, so I bought the book for myself to myself. So we have that. So after I finish reading The Lost Causes by Jessica Edding and Alyssa Schwartz, I will be reading The Cruel Prince, of course. And the next book we have is Beautiful Creatures by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stohl. This is a supernatural romance novel. It's about this girl named Lena who moves to a small southern town called Gatlin, and she has a secret power that she's trying to hide, along with a curse that's been in her family for generations. And there's this boy, Ethan, who wants to escape Gatlin, but he falls for Lena and then finds a secret connection, which changes everything. And I did have Beautiful Creatures when it first came out. My Aunt Beth bought me the book, but I misplaced it, so I bought it again so I can read it again, because I really enjoyed the book when it first came out. I have not seen the movie yet, so I don't know how the movie is different from the book, but anyway, I like reading the books before I watch the movies, so we're going to be doing that. And then, there was one other thing I wanted to say, but I forget what it is right now. The third book that I bought for myself as a to Erin from Erin present was Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa, or Kagawa, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. This is a fantasy adventure novel. It's about this thing that happened 1,000 years ago where Iwa Goto, I don't know how to pronounce that name either, it entered an age of darkness, chaos, and God knows what else. And now whoever holds the Scroll of 1,000 Prayers and New Wishes Granted, and this one girl, Yumiko, she was raised by monks in the Silent Winds temple, and she trained herself to hide her yokai nature, whatever that means. She's half kitsune and half human, and do not ask me what that means because I don't know. But she uses an illusion to hide herself, and then when her family is killed, she embarks on a quest of her own. So that's like the most basic description I can give you, because I want you to read the books too. But anyway, I will be reading this after I finish reading The Cruel Prince, after I finish reading The Lost Causes. So, with Shadow of the Fox, I've actually been intrigued by the book for a while, because when I go to Barnes & Noble for work or on my days off, I see the book and I'm just like, okay, this book is really interesting, so I'm taking it as a literary sign that I simply must read the book. And besides that, I want to read as many books as I can. I mean, I have a huge yearly goal every year to read at least 10 books. So far, I'm at 17 books this year. Close to 18 if I can finish 50 pages in a couple hours. But that would be no problem for me. Anyway, that's besides the point. The point that I'm trying to make is I will read this book indefinitely. And the final book that I bought for myself as a Christmas present is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. This is a fantasy novel. It's about this girl named Alice who's been on the road her entire life with her mom, and then her reclusive author grandmother dies, and she leaves her estate to Alice and her mother. And then Alice finds this book written by her grandmother, which was a dark fantasy novel, and then her mother is kidnapped, and she must go find her mother, but the message that her mother leaves for her is stay away from the Hazelwood. So this book is another book that was shown to me by a bunch of different recommendations, like Jesse the Reader, a bunch of other YouTubers, booktubers, I should say, and I just figured, okay, I'm gonna read this too. So I'm sort of like getting on the bookish bandwagon and just gonna read this after I finish reading The Shadow of the Fox, after I finish reading The Lost Causes. It's very hard not very hard keeping these books straight, but I can keep these books straight, surprisingly enough. So anyway, book buying bans really don't work for me because I did buy 4 new books after Christmas. So anyway, if I don't see you later in the week, have a happy New Year. I just forgot that Christmas was over, so I was about to say Merry Christmas. But anyway, Happy New Year, like, subscribe, comment, do your thing, and have a good day, everyone.